Tonight, the Republican presidential candidates making last-minute preparations for tonight's crucial debate as a new poll breaking shows Trump with a double-digit lead over his closest competitor, Ted Cruz, 13 points. These 7 men will take their podiums in about 90 minutes in South Carolina. Now, this is literally where they're going to stand. So when I say center stage, I am being literal. Donald Trump will be standing in the middle as the frontrunner, flanked by Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. Just moments ago, the candidates avoided going after Donald Trump at the undercard debate or each other. It just concluded. Instead, their zingers were targeted at Hillary Clinton and President Obama. Here it is.
Well, all he has to do is listen to the Democratic debate and find out how bad the economy is.
The president keeps saying the gun show loophole. There is no gun show loophole. I promise you I've been to more gun shows than President Obama, and I bought more weapons at them, and you fill out forms.
The truth is I've had and been blessed by a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things in my life. And unlike another woman in this race, I actually love spending time with my husband.
Sunlen Serfati is live at the debate hall. Sunlen, that was one of the toughest zingers there tonight. But, Iowa just weeks away. Tonight is do or die, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Aaron. The stakes are extremely high for many of these candidates tonight because the pressure that the calendar is really putting on just 3 weeks away to the Iowa caucus, really creating that make or break moment, that big moment, cultivating that moment to have that big breakout moment on stage. That the window for that opportunity is really coming to a close for many of these candidates, creating that momentum as they head out in the ground on Iowa, in the ground in New Hampshire, really goes a long way for candidates as people head into cast their votes. So I think that's why we're going to see, and we already have seen some of the candidates like Carly Fiorina tonight. She really came out right out of the gate, really blazing against Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, President Obama, really trying to create that moment, that momentum to break through and really reclaim the narrative. That is the goal of many of these candidates here tonight. Aaron.
All right, Sunlen, thank you very much. On location at that debate. And out front now, the former Arkansas governor and Republican presidential candidate, Mike Huckabee. Thank you so much for being with me, Governor. I appreciate your time. Now, you just finished up the debate. I noticed watching that you did not attack the Republican frontrunner, Donald Trump, at all. Is this because you've accepted he likely will be the party's nominee?
Aaron, it's mainly because he wasn't there to defend himself. I try to be a gentleman, and it's not appropriate to go out and attack somebody that's not there and somebody who is about to get 2 hours of airtime, and you can't defend yourself when you do. But look, my fight's not against Donald Trump. My fight is for the nomination. And if you heard the debate tonight, you heard me fight for those folks who are getting Social Security checks and scared to death they're going to lose them, or the people who are standing on their feet all day long. That's what the fight has to be about. So my beef isn't with Donald Trump. If he gets the nomination, we're behind him. I'm still fighting it, and I'm doing 150 events in Iowa this month because we still believe there's a real shot to pull this off.
All right, and now I want to play a part, actually, of an interview I did last night with Donald Trump. And the reason I'm playing this is because it's about tonight's debate, and it's about Ted Cruz and his Canadian birth and whether that makes him ineligible to be president. Let me just play the exchange for you.
I don't want to be talking about it, but probably somebody tomorrow will ask a question. I'll give them an answer. But all I'm doing is saying there's a question mark. Nobody can deny there's a question mark, and that's a problem.
I want to ask you.
But I'm not going to bring it. Aaron, I'm not going to bring it up.
You're not going to bring it up at all tomorrow night?
No, why would I bring it up? I'm not. I'm asked this question all the time.
All right, you've said, Governor, you have real concern about this issue. My question to you is, should the RNC tell Cruz to step aside so they don't run into a major lawsuit and possibly lose the White House if he's the nominee?
Oh, I don't think they tell him to step aside. I think that's an overreaction. I didn't think it was an issue until I started seeing extensive and thorough, detailed articles from constitutional law professors with strong credibility saying that this is an issue. I think it's Senator Cruz needs to settle it, not the RNC. But the RNC has no business telling him that he arbitrarily should step aside because there's a question. The issue is answer the question, settle it, deal with it. Because
How can he do that, though,
guarantee
Governor?
you one thing.
How can he settle
Well, I think
it?
he would have to ask for a summary judgment from a court, Supreme Court ultimately. I mean, I don't know that it's ever been a case law that's been ultimately settled. I had an attorney tell me today, he said, the one thing that is absolutely certain He says, as an attorney, this is not settled law. There's a lot of ambiguity about it. It needs to be settled for his sake as well as for the parties.
But obviously that could take months and months. So if it's something that could take that long, I mean, if it were you, would you continue running and going for the nomination, or would you step aside?
Well, Aaron, for me, it's real simple. I was born in Hope, Arkansas, and we already have clearly established that you can be born in Hope, Arkansas, and be president of the United States. My answer would be, let's give Hope one more chance. And we know that there's not an issue for a president born in Hope, Arkansas. That is settled law.
All right, Governor, well, I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you very much. Governor Mike Huckabee,
Thank you, Aaron.
as we
Great
said,
to be
just
on.
wrapping up his part of the debate as he is running for a top finish in Iowa. Out front next.